Hello everyone, and here, the little Frenchie in Big Texas. Welcome to my channel. So this video is an update from my previous video from last weekend on the waste coming from the Ohio train derailment, in particular the ones that were heading to Harris County, so Houston area. So what's finally happening, and most of it, what answers did I get from my representative and senators that I contacted a week ago. So let's start first with the events here. As you know, there were shipments going either to Texas with the wastewater that was used by the firefighters to extinguish the fires, and some more waste that was also shipped to Michigan. All this without communication to the two states, so big turmoil here. They put it on hold. Michigan actually shipped back what they had received. Harris County kept the water. I just think it's just such a long way, to ship it back to Ohio anyway. So they kept what they had received here. Initially, it was disclosed that Harris County, well, actually Texas Molecular, the company located in Deer Park that's supposed to treat this wastewater, had received about 500,000 gallons. In reality, they had already received 747,000 gallons when they actually decided to pause all shipments until the federal EPA and DOT did their investigation to find the best secure solution for this waste. So a week later, where are we? Because very little was actually disclosed here locally. What I saw on TV is that they were using local facilities in Ohio to bury, so same deep wells, to bury that waste. What I didn't know, and I had to do my little research, is that they actually resumed the shipment of the wastewater to the Harris County. And it's continuing and it's happening. So far, as of 2 days ago, Deer Park, so Texas Molecular, had already received 1 million gallons altogether. And they're continuing, and pretty much everything is going to be shipped here to be treated in, which is pretty much buried down in the deep wells they have. So Texas Molecular has 3 deep wells right here on the Gulf Coast, very close to the bayou, which leads into the Gulf of Mexico. So right there, which is apparently the safest way to dispose the water, is to ship it 1,300 kilometers away in a very high populated area to be buried here. But that's the decision from our federal agencies, so nothing to say. And right now our local judge of Harris County is not saying anything because she's been informed. So all has been funneled through the proper channel, politically correct. Information was given. Please be ready, we're shipping more. All right, so now they're receiving. Same from the local state representative here, Sheila Jackson, or whatever her name is, of Houston. She's been informed. So all the channels have been cleared. Federal EPA is monitoring it. So they're not saying anything. So it's just continuing. And unfortunately, there's not much we can do. In particular, there's not much I can do at this point after having sent letters to pretty much all my representatives and senators. I'm just missing one here. So let me first tell you what I did. So I went onto a cool website that I have here. It's pretty much, I Googled who represents me. So you just type in your address and you've got all your representatives and senators, whether it's at the federal or state level. So I pretty much clicked on every one of them and sent them the same copy and paste message. All but one, because I have 2 senators that represent me in Washington, D.C., and I managed to go through to one of them. The second one, which is the famous Ted Cruz, had a site that probably was not compatible with, I imagine, my browser. So I kept receiving error message. So I waited and I said, okay, I'm going to do it the next day. But given the next day they had paused the shipments, I was so hopeful they would not resume it that I did not email Ted Cruz. So everybody but him. So what did I get? So everybody but him is actually 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. 2 local, state to federal. I got 2 answers. One federal, one state. Both of them were the representatives. I got no answer from the senators. And out of the 2 representatives, let me read to you the answers because they're really worse. I'm glad I did right. It gives you a very good idea of who represents you at the local, state level and in Washington, and what you can get from them. Very interesting. Let's start with the federal level because this is probably the best. So this is Congressman Troy Niels. So he used to be actually, I think, the head of the constable here. Had a kind of not so black and white reputation here. But he managed to get elected. And so here is his very politically correct answer that brings me absolutely no information whatsoever. So it actually took him 5 days to send me this answer, which is pretty much a robot answer, not answering any of my concerns. Look at this. Dear Anne, thank you for contacting me. It is good to hear from you, and I'm pleased to respond. I bet the robot did it for you. It's just not a fast robot. It took him 5 days. I commend you for expressing your thoughtful concerns. Well, thank you. They were very thoughtful indeed. Our democracy can only be successful when our citizens are aware and knowledgeable of the issues. Well, it can only be successful if our representatives act when the citizens express concerns on their issues. The ability to make informed decisions on political and legislative matters, as well as current events, is an invaluable skill, and I encourage you to remain active throughout your life. Well, yeah, but given how useful it is, it's not encouraging me, actually, Niels here. I appreciate learning of your policy concerns. See, they're still not addressing the issue. Nothing personal here. Your input is critical in guiding me on how to best represent my constituent. You can be sure I will keep your views in mind as I monitor the progress of this very important issue. Can be any issue. Copy and paste, robot answer. Very disappointed here. And that's my state, federal representative, so my district here in Texas at the US Congress. Extremely disappointing. See, a robot answer I got, which could have been out in a day or 2, and no, it took 5 days to get it out. So in addition, I imagine they got staff that goes through all these emails. They could at least try to do something, input a few words here instead of this issue, mention the waste treatment, kind of make it look like they're actually caring. Not at all, nothing. So on that one, 0. If anybody here is listening to me, depends on that guy, I would highly recommend you to reconsider at the next election. But now let's switch to the local state level. So my representative in the capital in Austin, which is a very different answer here, actually. Very interesting. So let's have a look. So this one, representative, let me find it. JC Jetton. He actually took the time to answer. Actually, somebody in his staff, research director, it's actually signed, personalized, and answering the issue. So these ones, they read the email and they took the time to answer. So at least I feel I'm getting something from my tax money here in Texas. So dear Anne, thank you for contacting Representative Jetton's office. Engaged citizens like you are the lifeblood of our democracy, and I appreciate your taking the time to reach out with your thoughts. Okay, nice introduction. Representative Jetton is taking this situation very seriously and will continue to monitor it. Rep. Jetton stated that he is not aware of any notification necessary to transport waste to one of the many wastewater treatment facilities we have here in Texas. So that's pretty interesting. So it's pretty much going directly from one company to another, private business to private business, with no oversight on the treatment, the way it's going. But at least there's an explanation here. I appreciate knowing it. Fortunately, we do a very good job of treating wastewater And while Representative Jeton does not trust the EPA, he does have more trust in the Texas Commission of Environmental Quality that monitors and regulates wastewater treatment in the state to ensure dangerous waste is not deposited into our ground and waterways. Thank you again for expressing your thoughts. Pretty interesting, right? First, he gives a piece of information I didn't know. And then, of course, he's going to tell good Texan here, he doesn't trust the federal level, but ensures me that at the Texas level, they have the right controls and agencies to monitor the situations at that Texas molecular facility. Also, the name is not mentioned. But so at the end, it doesn't bring me much, honestly. The shipment is still happening. It's still getting there. But apparently the state of Texas is on top of it, monitoring it as well, not just the federal EPA. So maybe it's giving me a bit more confidence, and also it doesn't, to be honest with you. I'd rather not have it here. But I wanted to share because I thought these were two very interesting answers. So 50% answers, which is rather low, given they're getting paid out of my taxes, right? And out of the 50%, only one that's relevant, and which is the local one. So just, I think it's a very good representation of the world we live in and our politicians, unfortunately. And as I said, I missed one, but it's the big name senator, so I was not expecting anything very personalized on that one coming from Ted, to be fair. I might actually just try, give it a shot again and see whether, from another computer that's not a Mac, to see whether it goes through and what I get from his office. Even it's still going into Texas and we're still receiving this wastewater. I just wonder, I haven't heard anything going back to Michigan. So I don't know if any of you have heard back what's going on with Michigan, if they actually won that fight and everything stayed in Ohio. I don't know, because apparently Texas, we did not win on that one. So just wanted to share that piece of information and also the response. So I hope you found this useful. If you did, as always, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Thank you all for watching.